Okay, we got the figs. Everlane.
I can see those.
Well,
Yeah,
the CTA. Just lean over me, right?
I'll lean over you. Hello, Jacob. Kathy, James, Emma, Mark, Allison, Dorothy, Patty. Well, thank you very much, Patty. Dana, ACNC12, which is Adrian. Starting to finally put that together. Julia C, Kimberly, Gabrielle, Cousin Grayson.
Hey, Grayson.
Chelsea. Sam,
Should I give him a sneak peek about the purse or not?
Sam. No.
Too soon?
No.
Okay, never mind.
That's what you're talking about.
All right. I was going to give y'all some exclusivity, but Alan said it's too soon.
Not yet. Got plenty of time.
Okay.
My man. Hello,
Well,
Chris.
just remember, I wanted to tell you. Tell you soon enough.
Alicia, Terry, Abraham, thank you very much.
Today's Bad Influence, Jeff's actual birthday.
It is. Maybe
Alan's birthday was on the 2nd.
And we'll sing happy birthday to him.
Does he listen to the podcast?
I don't know. Never asked him.
That's not.
I don't think he does.
We won't sing. I need to post some more pictures. I was so bad. I never really posted a lot of pictures from our family vacation either.
What am I, Chelsea? Chopped liver?
But I've got to. Hello. I can't see the when y'all say hey. I have to get like this. Am I going to give an update on Cole Sprouse and Lily Reinhart tomorrow? Well, I'll tell you the truth. I haven't looked at any information on Cole Sprouse and Lily Reinhart, but I will. Now, last I heard was they were reposting, what was it, W Magazine or Vanity Fair, and they both were like, don't believe everything you read, and basically calling us out for saying they had broken up when they hadn't. So unless there's something new, Chelsea. I will, now you've got me curious. Oh, my hair's pulling. Let me see real quick. Gossip. I have my certain sources that I go to.
Cindy, the party was awesome. We'll talk about it. Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about it. Give you a birthday review.
What do y'all think about ASAP Rocky? Oh, my goodness. He's back home. They're throwing him parties and stuff. What a mess. Well, that's not showing up. Let me see. Cole Sprouse. Lily Reinhart. Okay, so love poem. You know what? They might have broken up and gotten back together. They're very young. That doesn't mean they didn't break up. I don't know, because I'm not in the bedroom with them. But they could have broken up and got back together. But yeah, we'll talk about it.
Oh, God. So I thought I'd heard them all.
Have you got everything pulled up that you need for the podcast?
I think so, man.
All right.
You're not doing this one. It's too big.
Well, I can edit it.
Well, we got plenty. I mean, let me tell you something. We got plenty. I am chopped liver, Susan. That's right. Where's chopped liver?
Remember, we're supposed to try to keep it.
You can keep it as whatever we want to keep it.
I know.
It's our podcast.
I know. Ready?
No. You gotta give a sound check first.
Testing 1 2 1 2 3 4 7.
Do it again. Testing
9 8 7 5 4 3 0 9. P.
Rod Gazinia, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Rod Gazinia.
All right. Ready?
No.
Ready? Do you have your computer on silent? Oh, God. You know when you put your ponytail in and it's too tight in certain parts? All right.
Sorry, Sam. I just missed you. Sam gave me a good one. All right.
Well, you want to start over? Or save it for next one? He'll save it for next time, Sam.
I'll save it for next time.
All right. Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. Basking in the afterglow of the party. I'm Kelly Raspberry Evans, along with my husband and now post-birthday boy, Alan Evans.
Hello, I'm Alan.
Yeah.
I'm dragging serious ass tonight.
You said you felt rubbery.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's been, how do they say it? Balls to the wall since.
That's what some vulgar people say.
August. What exactly does that expression mean? Like,
I don't really know. I think it just rhymes.
Yeah. I mean, just visualize it. It's weird. Like, what does that mean? Like,
whoa. I just picture you pressing your penis up against a wall.
But why does that mean going full on
you're partying so hard you're trying to do the wall.
Oh.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I just think
Is that what it means?
I really don't know.
No. Well, anyway, we've been balls to the wall on this birthday.
Well, one of us has.
One of us has, yeah.
I did, I tried to pace. I fussed at Alan.
She did.
I was
fussed
fussing.
At me.
We were going to the party, and he was pre-gaming at the house. And when I come out ready to go, he's like, I'm already buzzed. I was like, wait a minute. Wait right there. Because if you're already buzzed and we haven't even gotten there yet, there is disaster around the corner. I said, you're not going to be able to make it. You're not going to hang.
And heaven forbid I get buzzed on my birthday.
But you were buzzed before we even left the house to go to your party. And I was afraid you were going to overdo it.
Babe.
And I'm guilty of overdoing it.
If I had $1 for every time you got buzzed
what did I just say?
We went to a party, I'd have $100.
No, you would not.
Oh.
You absolutely would
have $100.
Not. That is a lie.
No, it's not. It's true. It's true. Yeah, so anyway, Kelly you trying to squash my fun.
I was just trying to get you to pace yourself.
Squash my fun.
I was trying to get you to pace. I wanted you to be able to enjoy your party. And plus, we were going to plan to have an after party at our house. Let me just say, if you missed out on the Evans Manor after party, you didn't miss much.
You didn't miss much. I think everybody
It was the most low-key after party in the history of after parties.
Everybody was spent.
Unless you had an after party where 0 people showed up, then it would be a worse party.
But as per usual, Jeff jumps in the pool.
Yeah, he did.
Only dude in the pool.
He was wearing his underwear.
And his underwear and his skivvies.
Yeah.
He's in the pool.
But and oh my gosh, so much happened at this. It was a great party. It was a lot of fun. I surprised Alan and Jeff with a new step and repeat, because we're all about a step and repeat. Since this was the second time y'all celebrated your birthdays together, I thought this is going to be an annual tradition. So let's get a step and repeat.
Can I speak for the listener?
Yeah.
The first time you ever told me step and repeat.
Oh, you know what it was.
I'm in the marketing business too, and I had never heard that phrase. Will you explain what a step and repeat is?
Step and repeat is like a backdrop you stand in front of to have your picture taken. So if you ever go to a movie premiere or something, they'll have the name of the movie and whatever sponsors, like if Belvedere Vodka is sponsoring it. So it'll have the movie name and all the sponsors on the backdrop, which is called the step and repeat. So what you do is you take a step, pose for the photographers, move down the line, step, pose for the photographers, you just step, repeat. And that's why it's called a step and repeat.
Gotcha.
So anyway, yeah, I had it. Your sister, in her infinite talent, made a logo for your birthday.
Had our own birthday logo.
Yeah. Are you excited? Did we do good?
Oh, I had a great birthday. Yeah. And I guess we were going to recap some of that, starting from what you and I did together as a couple on my birthday, just you and I.
Yes.
And then that morphed into doing stuff with the kids. And then the next day we did the big party. So yeah, we'll do all the.
And then we spent Sunday basically recovering.
Yeah. So we'll do the full recap. But
real quick, because I have to do this real quick.
Oh,
I also want to say we had such an outpouring of love for Alan after last podcast. So if you skipped the podcast before this one, I don't remember the episode number.
160.
Episode 160. Please go back and listen to that if you've ever struggled with depression or tragedy or things that happen in your life and you don't know how you're going to get through it, especially if you're dealing with it now. Got a lot of love for you being so open and vulnerable. And we're actually going to read some letters from people that have reached out. We just think it's really sweet.
Yeah, I was actually kind of taken aback, blown away. I don't know what the right words are, but
that's the right words.
I got hundreds of messages, stories, emails, comments about that subject. I couldn't believe it. And I just wanted to share some of it. There's some stuff that really, really is powerful. So I thought it would help the audience to hear some of that.
I'll tell you, in all my years of doing radio, when we are the most vulnerable and it's the hardest things to reveal about ourselves, and we try to be really open about a lot of things with ourselves, not so much with the people around us because they didn't ask to be on the podcast or ask me on the radio. But when we do open up ourselves like that and expose what sometimes is an embarrassing part, that you maybe feel weak or stupid or just for sharing it, the love you get back is just incredible.
Yeah. And it makes you feel good. It's like I was saying on the last podcast, I didn't want it to turn into a therapy session, but it is therapeutic to tell a story and then hear back from somebody that says, that same thing happened to me. So don't feel stupid, because the exact same thing happened to me and I got out of it. So there was a lot of that. And like I said, we'll share some of what I received.
But real quick, of course, we couldn't do the podcast. Well, we could, but it wouldn't be nearly as good without our sponsors. And listen, we are in the process of getting ready to do a couple of bedroom makeovers for the girls in our family. And I'll tell you what, if you want one-of-a-kind furniture that matches your unique tastes in the fabrics, the textures that makes your heart sing, you need to check out Joybird.
Joybird.
Yes, with Joybird, you turn your ideas, anything you can dream about, into reality, because Joybird has hundreds of styles and options. If you want a sofa in hot pink, Joybird can hook you up with that. If you want a love seat that's made of leather, something juicy, scrumptious, velvet, they can take care of all that for you. Joybird has free personal design consultants who will help you nail down your perfect design. And each piece is made by hand with care and precision. And it's a beautiful selection, not only of indoor furniture, they have outdoor furniture as well.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about maybe getting some new outdoor furniture. We need to check out what they've got for sale on Joybird. Plus, you get a 365-day home trial. If you don't love it, you can return it for a full refund.
See how Joybird can help you design your dream space. Find your joy today at joybird.com/883. Create the furniture that brings you joy today at joybird.com/883. Go to joybird.com/883. Receive an exclusive offer for our listeners for 25% off your first order by using the code 883.
There you go.
Love Joybird.
Yes, you do. Honey.
Oh,
we love our sponsors.
Absolutely love Joybird. Okay, birthday. We can do birthday recap first?
Yeah, let's do that first.
So Kelly very, very generously offered to take me to a very fancy place to have a mani-pedi on my birthday.
Yeah.
And this is called the Four Seasons Resort in Las Colinas, Texas.
Yeah, it is.
I'd only been there, I can't even, maybe once or twice in my life. I went there for an event with you one time, and another
black
time,
tie event.
a black tie event, and then maybe another time, maybe like 15 or 20 years ago, and that's it. So,
well, it's for special occasions. It's for, anniversaries. I remember a long time ago, my best friend Amy and I went out there and we were celebrating, I believe it was her birthday. It was like a big birthday. And we got one of the bungalows and we were going to drink champagne and we were going to go get our nails done. Well, guess what? Amy popped up pregnant. And so we went and she couldn't drink anything and she couldn't get the massage and stuff because you weren't allowed to do it. So it was kind of like, so that was, but that's what it's for, special occasions. Well, on my birthday in 2016, Boss Man George
Amen.
gave me a gift certificate
Amen.
to Four Seasons for my birthday.
Boss Man George does everything online, which a lot of people do.
He does.
But I
He's
mean,
a
he
man.
does everything online.
So it was 2016. I have been sitting on this gift card. Now, this was right after you and I had started dating.
But it wasn't a gift card.
Well, it was a printout.
It was a print.
It was a printout of his order of my gift card.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So he stuck it in a card and he wrote on it, "This is for you and Alan to have a couples massage." Now, granted, Alan and I had only been dating since January. So this was in April. So we could use the money for whatever we wanted. So we didn't use it at the time because I was like, I'm not getting a couples massage with Alan. We've only been dating a couple months. So I held on to it. And what happens when you hold on to things? You kind of forget about them.
Right.
Well, I was going through some stuff and I found it. And I was like, I can't believe it's been since 2016. I bet this thing isn't even any good anymore. So I called the Four Seasons and I said, I found this gift card 2016, saying it was a gift card. This is what I was saying at the time. She said, oh, they never expired, never loses value. Great. I was like, well, this is ridiculous. I'm going to go ahead and use it for Alan's birthday. So my plan was we're going to get couples mani-pedis because let's be honest, we've had couples massages before. I love a massage.
Yeah, I just assume being there by myself. Though.
Exactly, because when you're getting a couple's massage, you're face down.
My face down, I can't see you.
You can't see anything.
We can't talk.
You're not. Yeah, exactly. You're not talking. So
or if you do, it's super awkward.
So you might as well be by yourself unless it's cheaper to get the couple's massage. Sometimes it might be a little cheaper. So we're like, we don't need that. So I told Alan, I had to tell him what we were doing because I wanted to run out and get every once in a while he'll want to get a mani-pedi. I was like, okay, I've got this gift card. And it was given to me, but I want to use it on you. We're going to get couples mani-pedis, and we're going to go to lunch at the Four Seasons.
Yep.
Fancy.
That is fancy. Very
fancy.
Yes. I was all for it.
Yeah.
Now, I have said on other podcasts, I've made it no secret, I enjoy the mani-pedi.
You never had one until you were with me.
Yeah. Kelly has got me on board with the mani-pedi. I don't see why more dudes don't do it.
You see them
I really don't get it. Because it's awesome.
It's a great thing to do as a couple.
Yeah.
The leg massage is just what, I mean, Alan's just like, he's got somebody working on his hands, somebody working on his feet. He's like, why haven't I done this sooner?
Makes you feel like a king. Now, I will say to the men maybe who are listening, or the women who are married to very manly men, I mean, a mani-pedi is probably not like if you rank the top manliest things that a man could do, it's probably not in the top 10.
Yeah, but I think a man should take care of his feet.
Yeah.
You happen, even the lady doing his feet before she started on
yes,
you have the softest feet I've ever.
She touched my feet. She paused.
She's like, there's nothing to do here.
She looked up at me and she goes, these are the softest feet that I've ever touched. And I said,
it's true,
I
y'all.
said, thank you. Please continue to touch.
I've told them that before. It's like, is it because you're Filipino?
Yeah. I think
it has to be something about the Filipino blood because a lot of men, they say it's because women wear high heels and sandals a lot that our heels are exposed. You wear flip-flops and sandals all the time. Your feet are ridiculously smooth.
Yeah. I don't know, babe. I think it's hereditary.
And I'm there with I got a new pedi egg. Let me tell you guys, I got it on sale at Ross when I went on that shopping spree with my mom down in Houston. They have revamped the pedi egg. It is like using a cheese grater on your feet. It's severe. If you have the old pedi egg, this ain't the old pedi egg. It's the new pedi egg. I'm in there on my heels. I am slathering with lotion that has like acid in it. I'm wrapping my feet in socks. I'm doing everything I can. And I'll be out one day and I look down at my feet and I'm horrified.
It almost sounds like when I'm scraping the grill. You know when I scrape the grill with my wire brush? That's what it sounds like when you use the pedi egg.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And you do nothing.
No, nothing.
And you have the softest feet ever.
Thank
you. Anyway, we have our mani-pedis. It's great. We're sitting there and they said, after we have our mani-pedi, we're going to go to have lunch. And the lady said, well, would you like to have a complimentary glass of Prosecco? And at first I was like, no. And I'm like, wait, let's have the Prosecco.
It's our birthday, or it's my birthday. Let's do it.
So a tall, like a double pour because they liked us.
Glass.
We were such good clients.
Yes.
So anyway, we're drinking our Prosecco, to which somebody commented on our Instagram. Yeah. Can you ever do anything without alcohol involved?
You guys always drinking alcohol. Can you not have fun?
No, we can't.
Are you in a bad relationship? You can't be around each other without alcohol.
No, we can't. That's how we tolerate each other.
You know why I drink alcohol? To put up with idiots like you. That's
Stop it.
Not you.
I know. That's not nice.
The idiot on social media.
Don't say that.
Why?
That's not nice.
Well, it's true.
But I think it's funny. We can't do anything without alcohol involved, which we might have a problem. We need to do some self-examination.
Sorry about you.
So then I go to the front while Alan goes to relieve himself. Alan has a very small bathroom. As I found with most men in my life, Kid Craddock couldn't go 5 minutes without finding a bathroom. But so you go to use the bathroom, and I'm going to go take care of it because I've got a piece of paper with the gift card. So I go up to the front, and she said, this isn't a gift card. I said, but it's got an order number on it. She said, I know that's not the gift card.
It was a printed 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper from George's printer.
Right, with the order number for the gift card.
With a handwritten note that said, congratulations.
But if he would have read that, and if I would have taken the time to read it 2-3 years ago, I would have seen that it said, look for another email with your gift card information included. All right, look for another email. So apparently this was a problem. So here I am on the phone with George at the salon. Thankfully he answered. He is now trying.
What did you say? Give us some.
He's like,
give us some.
Well, I can't do George. Hey man. Oh,
hey man.
What year was it?
What
year is it?
Yeah.
So he is,
hey Kelly, I'm never giving you another gift again. Did
right,
you say
he said he's never giving me another gift?
I'm never giving you another gift.
Because he was horrified. I was like, I'm sorry, George. I'm just being honest. It was from 2016.
Okay, well, here, hold on. Let me see if I'm going to my emails.
So he goes back to April 12th. It's taking forever for him to scroll back through emails. It takes forever.
Hey, man, this is taking a lot longer.
Because he tried searching through Four Seasons. It didn't pop up. So anyway, we're waiting. And finally I told the lady, I said, look, this is now embarrassing. I said, I'm just going to go ahead and pay for it. It was
expensive.
$300.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know you were going to reveal that information.
It was $300.
I told Kelly, I said, look, since we had to pay for that because we thought we were going to have a gift card that worked, I'll just take my birthday presents back.
Yeah. So
we had to eat that.
So, well, I thought, so the lady said, because she could see the horror, because I tell y'all, I'm thrifty is the way I like to look at it.
$300 pedicure.
She said, if you can find the gift card information, we will refund and put it on the gift card. Mm-hmm. Great. I just charged it. Let's go eat lunch. So we went and ate lunch. That's fine. So this is Friday afternoon. Saturday morning, I woke up. Well, no, I didn't wait. I woke up Saturday morning. But apparently Saturday morning, George found it and emailed it to me. So I saw it later that evening. I called back and we got the money.
Yeah, we got the refund. So.
How horrible is that?
Because that was expensive.
I was there yesterday and couldn't find the gift card, but now I have it.
Well, that's fine. I don't think they cared about that. Can I please
get my refund and then recharge? Oh, it was bad.
Well, I would have totally done that. I mean, yes. And I mean, I felt bad for George because he had great intentions of that nice gift, but then it didn't work, and it was kind of a fail.
And then I looked like a big ungrateful.
Yes. I stayed out of it. Kelly was doing all the wheeling and dealing at the counter. I was just enjoying my birthday. Okay, so we had the Prosecco. That knocked us completely out.
Yeah, came home and took a nap.
And took a nap.
So tired.
And then we went out with my daughter Brooke, she had some band stuff going on that evening. So we just took out the boys and Emma Kelly that was my birthday night, right? Yeah. On the 2nd. Your
actual birthday.
On the 2nd. So a couple of podcasts ago, we talked about some family rules that we have now implemented, and kids seem to be doing pretty well with the rules. We have to remind the girls sometimes about the phones at the table. But we've replaced all this phone time that the girls used to do at the dinner table with playing the King of game, which Kelly, they play on the nationally syndicated Kid Craddock Morning Show. But now we're playing it with the children at the table.
It's a lot of fun.
You want to tell everybody who doesn't know how it works?
You just come up with a topic. It used to organically come up on the radio where we'd say somebody's name, like Robert. And then somebody'd say, like, Robert Redford? No, not Robert Redford. Robert Kennedy? No. And then suddenly,
Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh, we're going to play King of Roberts. And then you suddenly start going down the
Robert Ehrman?
room. You go around the room. The last person who can name a Robert without, quitting is the king of all Roberts.
Right.
So it became a fun game. But with kids, you have to do it a little bit more simple. So we did, let's do colors. And so you go around, literally 2 rounds in, Cole's like, I'm out. And then there are literally hundreds of colors. He's like, I'm out. I can't think of it.
We did cars. We did soft drinks. Animals, restaurants, sharks.
Types of shoes.
But we got all the kids into it. And
they can't stop playing.
Really having a good time with it. But the funniest thing that happened, and I was just laughing about this before we started the podcast. I was telling Kelly. It was so funny because we were playing with the boys, or with everybody, Kelly included. And I think Kelly and Emma Kelly went out pretty early because it was car brands.
Yeah, we were out on cars.
So now it's just me and the boys. And my son Cole, he's 11. Now Dylan, the little guy, he's only 6. He'll be 7 pretty soon, but he's 6. And he was hanging in there. So, I'm like, Ford. And then Cole's like, Chevrolet. And then Dylan's like, Ferrari. And then I say Porsche. And Cole says, GMC. And then Dylan, it gets to his turn, and you can see his face is he's got glassy eyes. He's kind of
drawn. Brain is working as hard as it can.
Or you can see the gears turning, and he just goes, yogurt. Dude, yogurt. And he goes, sorry, I panicked.
He's 7. Almost.
He panicked.
Not even 7 yet. Isn't that the cutest?
So now whenever in our game, we've modified it so when you don't know anything, you just say yogurt.
When you panic,
you say yogurt. I'm out.
Yeah. That's a fun game. You should try playing it with your kids. It's not like having deep discussions with your kids about what's going on in life, but it's fun and you're engaged and the kids aren't pouting because you won't let them be on their phone.
Right.
And it might take them a round or two to get involved. They're like, maybe I don't want to play. It's not fun. But once it goes around a couple of times and they're getting skipped over because they're sitting there thinking, well, nobody's saying, Robert Downey Jr. And then suddenly they're like, Robert Downey. They want to get in. They want to be a part of it.
And then the boys.
It's great for families.
It really is. And the boys wanted to start playing just together with them two. Those two.
Yeah, because they wanted to do Fortnite characters.
Skins.
They're like, we're out.
We're out. I got nothing.
Y'all two go back and forth on that.
And they did. They went back and forth several times. So anyway,
you finished belching and lurching.
Yeah, I was lurching there for a minute. I'm sorry. Hey, why don't you do that, and then we're going to
go into part 2.
Part 2. We'll transition into the next part.
Well, this is really fun because I was not familiar with this line until I found out they were going to be working with us on the podcast. Have you heard of Everlane?
I have.
You have now.
Yes.
Look, would you buy a T-shirt? A lot of people do. $50 for the T-shirt. If you knew it only cost $7 to make, no, you wouldn't do that. But with Everlane, you never overpay for quality clothes. Everlane makes the premium essentials, and they use really great materials without all those traditional markups. And Everlane wants you to know what you're paying for and why you're paying for it. So they tell you the real costs. They're very transparent about every step in the process, from the materials they use to the ethical factories they work with. You're not going to ever buy something from Everlane and then see it on the news about the sweatshops. They're an ethical company, which I really love. The first thing I got from Everlane was that T-shirt dress, that bright corally red T-shirt dress that I wore to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten so many compliments on that dress. I got a beautiful pair of these Italian shoes from Everlane. All beautiful things, very stylish pieces that I know I'm going to have in my wardrobe for years to come. And versatile, simple, stylish. It's quality. It's made with a company that has ethics. And I think that's really important in this day and age.
Absolutely, it is. And right now you can check out our personalized collection at everlane.com/sandwich. Plus you'll get free shipping on your first order. Sweet. That's everlane.com/sandwich. One more time, babe. How about everlane.com/sandwich?
Get that T-shirt dress. I'm telling you, I love wearing T-shirt dresses in the summer. And we got a lot more summer left, even though school's about to start back.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, another thing I love is all the love I received, not only for my...
We're not talking about your birthday?
Birthday.
Oh.
I also received a lot
of
love in the letters. What do you want to do? You want to do
I thought we had to finish your birthday.
Finish birthday?
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish birthday.
Because we still have your actual party to get to real quick.
Oh, yeah. So
I felt like you were skipping it.
So after Kelly said I couldn't drink before my birthday.
I just told you to pace yourself.
We hopped in. The kid called an Uber Black.
Nice, because it was your birthday.
It was my birthday, and I wanted to ride in a Suburban versus a Accord.
Splurge. All fancy with getting my we had money to spend because I got my refund from Four Seasons.
That's right. So we went up to a place called The Lincoln's Prime. It's a steakhouse in Frisco. And
it's one of Bad Influence Jeff's haunts.
It's one of his haunts.
He has some regular places where they name drinks after him.
Right.
They keep his own private stash behind the bar.
Yes.
He's that guy.
He's that guy when he walks in the bar, all the bartenders look over. Jeff!
Yeah, just like Norm
on Cheers.
Jeff!
Same thing, same bit. But it's a nice place, and they had the whole patio reserved for us, the outdoor patio, and it was attached to the interior bar, and Lots of people were there.
Radu, the violin guy,
was the entertainment back again. We had several people from our Mexico trip.
The podcast family vacation
came. Lots of people. We had 2 couples that came all the way from Kansas to be.
Isn't that crazy?
Here. Yes.
And another couple from Lubbock. They drove in. Some of Jeff's friends drove in from Austin. We had them come in. Man, there was a lot of pressure to have a really good party.
So a lot of people. Everything was wonderful. Not too many like balls to the wall crazy stories to tell though. In fact, it was pretty low key, except Kelly, and I'll let her tell it. I'll just tease it up for her. But Kelly decides to try to fire up an oldie but goodie.
It wasn't me.
An oldie but goodie.
It was Jeff.
Let's fire up the conga line.
That would be Bad Influence Jeff.
So why don't you explain how all that worked?
We're standing there, just a few of us, just a handful of us, 6 of us, as a matter of fact. Right. Shanda, me, Leah, Natalie. Everybody but Shanda had been on the podcast family vacation. And Jeff said, conga line. So Shanda's standing to his left. So he puts his hands on Shanda's shoulders or her hips or whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm not a big conga line person, but I'm a good sport. Bad Influence Jeff's birthday party as well as my husband's.
Right.
So I put my hands on Jeff's shoulders. I don't remember who's behind me. Melissa, Leah, Natalie. So it's like 6 of us. Mm-hmm. So we're like, here we go, conga. So we're coming from the patio. We go in through one door at the bar, and I'm number 3 in the conga line. So I can only imagine the train that's building up behind us.
Oh, you think you've got 50 people behind you. Yeah.
So we're coming, we go through the bar like, hey, everybody. Everybody's like, yeah, look at you and your conga line. So I figured they're just jumping on the back. So we come around the corner, we exit the bar, we come out of the patio, and this is where you get back to the open space where everybody follows you out and everybody dances with you on the dance floor.
Yeah.
We come out the conga line.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's the same 6 people that started it.
Nobody joined that set of beats.
Nobody joined our conga line.
And then it gets awkward,
I
right?
got so tickled. I could not stop laughing because it's embarrassing. I was embarrassed. And I'm just doubled over laughing. And Melissa's husband, David, caught it all on video.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. You got to catch the conga on video. Yes, you do.
It is so embarrassing.
The 6-person conga. And then
nobody joined our conga line.
What point do you look back or
Never.
Look around? No, but when do you say, you know what, I'm not going around again? What do you do? Just drop off?
Well, we got out to the dance floor.
Yeah, then what do you do?
Well, we thought everybody, so I turn around like, here, we're all going to dance now. And there's nobody. It was so bad.
So what do? Just stop?
I just doubled over laughing.
Oh, okay. And then it just dissolved.
And it kind of dissolved.
Oh, it dissolved.
Yeah.
God.
It was bad.
Where was I? I think I was posted.
You were in the bar.
I was posted up at the bar.
Watching 6 of us hop by.
I was in there with Dan Sullivan. Me and Dan were drinking scotch.
That would have been nice if you support your wife.
You know, babe, I really didn't even see that you were doing it until I think it kind of dissolved. You know, it was just like, hey, so somebody said, oh, they were trying to get the conga going. And I looked and it had already broken up. Yeah, it was a big fail.
And the worst part is somebody even called out, oh, they were trying to get the conga line going.
Yeah. But
anyway, so the big thing is like, we're going to have an after party because after my 25th anniversary party, we had so many people came back to our house and we were not prepared. So we were like, everybody's like, where's the party? Where's the after party? We're like, you can come, but we don't have any mixers or snacks or anything. So everybody came, they brought all this stuff. We had a great time. People were still talking about the after party. So we're like, let's do it again. But I think this was our mistake. Because I think after parties have to be spontaneous. Maybe.
Oh, instead of saying you're having an after party?
I guess, because I went out and got
Kelly's really overthinking this. Yeah, Kelly's feelings got hurt. We didn't have a bigger after party.
Snacks and stuff, and it's going to be another great after party where JC was out by the pool playing guitar, and everybody's jumping in the pool swimming, and Alan's in his office doing magic tricks, and I'm having conversations with people in the kitchen. You know, that's what I envisioned. What would you say? About 10 people came?
Yeah, it was a smaller gathering this time.
Not that they weren't lovely people. They were lovely.
No, we had fun.
It was very nice. Alan did a magic trick or two.
I did too. And then our friend
Jeff got in the water.
Hey, and then let me call out our friend Tanya. I did one of my very best magic tricks, and she looked at it. And she goes, "I don't understand. I don't get it." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? That's like Little Bunny's card trick is the best I've got.
I love Little Bunny.
Yeah.
I get it.
I blew Leah and Natalie away with Little Bunny. They were just dumbfounded. But you didn't get it. I'm like, how do you not get that?
I blame it on the after party. I blame it on the vibe.
Oh, well.
So anyway, it was fine. And everybody's like, last after party, people didn't even realize, oh my God, was it like 4:00 in the morning when that thing ended? No, it was like everybody was just having so much fun. This time everybody was like completely sober and good.
Yeah.
In bed by what, 11?
Well, this is what happens when you, maybe when you turn 23, the after party rages a little later into the evening and a little more balls to the wall. When you turn 48, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, we got a lot of text messages. We thought about coming, but we're just so tired.
Yeah, it was late and I had to get back. And
kids are expecting me to be
home.
And
my dog's been there for a couple hours. And,
yeah.
Oh, well. No, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
We appreciate everybody that came out. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, birthday was great. All right, you want to talk about some of these letters here? Read some of these letters?
Yeah, so like we said last podcast, Alan was very open about making the decision this year to be better health-wise, physically, emotionally, mentally, and went through the process of taking himself with a doctor's supervision of his antidepressants, which you've been on for more than a decade?
About 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know he was, because he tried it before cold turkey, and he was a bear. And then he would go back on him, and then he would tell me, okay, I want to apologize. I was, being really ornery or whatever, but I was trying to come off the antidepressants. I was like, oh, well, that explains it again. So this time he did it under a doctor's supervision, and it went much better.
Yeah. Now let me tell you something too. I'm not an expert in any of this. If you're listening and you do have, problems or issues, you really should talk to somebody that knows what they're doing. I'm just sharing. We're just sharing our experience.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. It's just what I did. It's just what you did. But and it worked for us, but we're not professionals, especially when it comes to health-related matters.
We are professional podcasters.
We are professional podcasters. I will say that, but
no, we're not.
No, we're not that either. But okay, so let me just jump into these. I'm not reading the names on any of these, just because it's kind of it can be a sensitive subject for some people. So here's some of the types of letters we received. So hey, Alan, first off, always got to get in the good stuff, right? Love you and Kelly. I mean, who wouldn't?
Aww.
I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and I couldn't sleep, so I decided to listen to the podcast. I was so touched. I have struggled with depression for years and I didn't realize it. My dad committed suicide back in 2015, 3 months before my wedding.
Oh.
It was the darkest time in my life. So when you spoke about loss, that hit home for me. Since then, I've tried to come out of it on the other side of things, but I was still hurting for so long. Back in March of this year, I decided to get in on an antidepressant, and it has changed my world. Obviously, I have my moments, but for the most part, I'm doing so much better.
Good.
As much as I would love to get off of them, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I'm doing this not only for myself, but for my marriage and my family. I'm so happy you got to wean yourself off, and I pray you continue on this path. Now, here's the thing, too. I'm not like anti-medicine.
No.
I just did not want to do it anymore. I am
pro Prozac. I am pro Wellbutrin. I am pro what you need to do.
You do what you need to do based on what your doctor tells you is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
It had just been long enough for me.
Right.
And I didn't need it anymore.
And that's also a conversation you have to have with your doctor.
Exactly. Here's another one. Kelly and Alan, I just want to send you some love. I listened to episode 160 of yours and Kelly's podcast. What you said was extremely brave, and I have so much respect for your honesty and truth. I have a parent that struggles with mental health and prescription medication, and sometimes I get so angry with her because I don't understand what she's going through. I know there are negative people out there that'll probably spread some negativity about this, but for all the people that you're helping, it's worth it. Your story is meaningful, and you have a lot of courage in sharing it. It's very impressive to see a man that will show and express truth and vulnerability. Keep up the great work. I love listening to you and Kelly. Well, thank you very much. It's very, very nice. But yeah, it's tough if I don't know, if you've never lived it. It is hard, I guess, for somebody to maybe understand what somebody who actually has that affliction is going through, because
Yeah,
it's something
people
that's very difficult to explain.
It is, and especially there's a lot of guilt associated with depression. I know when I was really going through my dark times, I would feel so guilty because I was like, I have nothing to be depressed about. My life is good. I have a good job. I've got good friends. And I would still cry myself to sleep every single night. And a lot of times it's just, you can't even explain it. You can't, it's just this overwhelming sense of sadness. And it's hard to talk about it to people because what do they say? You have nothing to be, what do you have to be depressed about? Everything's so good for you. And that's just reinforcing the guilt for being depressed in the first place. So a lot of times it doesn't have to be like a catastrophic event that tips you into depression. It can just be something about your chemical makeup, your brain balance, something that's going on.
And it's more than a feeling of sadness. It's way worse.
Despair.
It's way worse than that. It's really hard to explain, but it's very, very much.
Everybody goes through periods of funk.
Yeah, sure.
And that's a difference. If you can get out of it, it's the funk you can't get out of.
Right.
No matter how hard, you just can't. That's the overwhelming part.
Here's another. Happy birthday, Alan. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your story. My family has never understood, this is just what we were talking about, has never understood my depression and why I'm on medicine. When more people like you share your story, it helps so many more people than you think. You're strong. It makes me respect you more than I already did. Well, that's very nice. I felt like I could relate to you before, but now I really can. Thank you, Alan.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Let's see what else we got here, babe.
It's hard when you don't have a lot of support, so you feel like you can't talk to anybody about it, so you just shut down.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing your story on the podcast. Crying driving home on a road trip. This is probably one of the most powerful podcasts I've ever heard. I work with students and adults dealing with social, emotional highs and lows and other things. And you probably help more people than you'll ever realize by showing that Instagram isn't real and we all have issues. The world is better because of you and Kelly. Wow, that's very nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's high praise right there. I hope you have the best year yet. And, when I said that though, like, I think I made a comment like, you can look at somebody on Instagram and think, oh, he's got it all. And I was kind of poking fun at myself. I do have it all. And I did respond back to somebody that we were talking back and forth about this. I do have it all. But when I think what I have it all is, that's my health, that's my wife, that's my family, that's my children. They're happy and healthy. And I have a kind of a job, a career, things that I do that I enjoy. And I'm in a good spot there. So I do have it all, but I think
if you're depressed,
those things are very important for you to feel like, for me to feel like I have it all. Those things, those are the important things. A lot of the things you see on Instagram, I'm not picking on anyone in particular, but you see a lot of shiny, fun, cool stuff on Instagram, right? And I think some people may see somebody and they think, wow, look at that life. That must be fun. That must be awesome. You just don't know what people are going through, even though they kind of portray that on social media.
Yeah, with all the pretty filters.
Yeah, but I do have it all. I have a great life, and I just think that my all is my health and my family's health. Okay, here's another one. Listening to the podcast this morning on my way to work, currently bawling. I feel like I'm in your old shoes. I'm 26, and for the last 3 years, I've been in a spiraling depression. Keeping it all to myself. Yep. My husband hardly knows. Yeah. And now with my dad having cancer, I'm not handling it all well. And we talked about this. It's like sometimes there's just a bunch of things that happen at once, and you're just like, shit, why is this? Yeah. So you get, absolutely, you get overwhelmed. And now with my dad having cancer, thank you so much for sharing. I don't feel so alone, but I just hope and pray I can pull through it and get to where you are now. It's taken a long time. These last 3 years have really been hard, and I have a feeling the next few will be equally as bad with the stuff going on with my dad, and I'm scared. But hearing you talk about your struggles gave me hope. Thank you. All those words are things that I understand, and I think a lot of people can understand. Bad things happen to good people, man. They just do, and when they happen, it's like, how do you
Well,
how do you react to them?
For 3 years of spiraling depression, you really need to go talk to a doctor. And it doesn't have to be a psychiatrist. I think the first doctor I told it wasn't my OB. I've talked about it with my OBGYN before, but it was just a regular general practitioner. Is that what you call them? Your regular doctor.
Right.
I just told him flat out what I was going through. Like, I cry all the time and I don't know why. And he had a lot of questions for me, but he was able to prescribe. So you don't have to necessarily go to a psychiatrist or a therapist. You don't have to. You can make the first step with your woman doctor, your regular doctor, and they can give you guidance.
At least point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
You want to read one or two of these?
Oh, well, if you'd like me to.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead, babe? I don't want to feel like I'm taking over here. Why don't you read a couple?
Which one? This is long.
We'll paraphrase it.
Oh, okay. I've battled with depression on and off for years. The last 2 have been especially rough. My 12-year marriage is ending. I've tried for 2 years to make it work, but not having a willing partner makes it impossible. I started to self-medicate with alcohol, and a lot of it. I was drinking every night, and I'm ashamed to admit that I didn't know my limit, and most nights I overdrank. I gained 30 pounds in 6 months. I gave up. I finally reached my breaking point, started eating better, lots of work still to do there, and cut way back on alcohol. I've also weaned myself off of my antidepressants and started seeing a therapist once a month. I'm a long way from where I want or need to be, but I refuse to let my daughter see me like that ever again. You're an inspiration, Alan. It's hard to tell your truth, but once you do, you realize how many others are out there. You're not alone. I'm not alone. We're all in this together, whether we know each other personally or not. I'm proud of you, and I'm becoming more and more proud of myself each day. Here's to new beginnings and a new outlook on life, no matter what stage of this journey we're on.
Oh, well, the alcohol, and I think a lot of people know this, but alcohol is a depressant.
Yeah,
it makes you feel. It kind of depresses your whole nervous system, and it reacts bad with different types of medicines. And depending on the medicine, it can make you feel even worse. I do know that. That's one thing I do know. And I also, something she said there reminded me that, when you're on those things, we've talked about it, you've talked about it too, it kind of numbs how you feel. And you're not really happy, but you're not really sad too much. So then, for me, I looked to other things to kind of get a charge. And the charge was alcohol, sweets, doing things like that aren't good for you either. And then it kind of just compounds on each other. It's just I don't know. It's just kind of, sometimes it can be a spiral. You think you're doing the right thing by trying the medicine, but then that can lead to other things possibly.
Well,
just depending on your situation.
Well, not every antidepressant is one size fits all.
Right.
You have to find the right one.
That's why I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the types of medicines.
For me,
I have no idea.
Yeah, for me, the doctor just put me on Prozac. That was that's the one you go on straight out the gate. And for me, like Alan said, I felt nothing. I was very even. I didn't have any highs. I didn't have any lows. I didn't have anything. And I didn't really like that feeling. So I talked to my doctor about that. I said, I need to have some, I want to have some emotion. It's like getting too much Botox, right? You just want to have the right amount of Botox. You want to be able to raise your eyebrows a little bit. Same thing with antidepressants. That was maybe a bad analogy. I'm not sure. But, then I tried a different antidepressant. And, you try the different ones under a doctor's supervision until you find the right one that works for you. They're not all the same. Some people need a lot more than others. Sometimes if you're just going through like your parents dying of cancer and you're facing, some really scary things, you might just need something to help you get through that time in life. But if you're spiraling for 3 years, you really need to, get that.
It's a long
get
time
that checked.
To feel sad. Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for sharing your lives with your listeners, and especially as vulnerably as you did in your last podcast. Just yesterday, I had my first appointment with a therapist because I'd reached the breaking point and finally found the strength to tell my husband I need help. Depression runs deeply in my family, and I've had moments of it. But I would just grin and bear it, even though all I wanted to do was stay in bed. I said nothing out of fear, and my biggest fear was what my husband would think of me. This fear is deep-rooted due to my father leaving my mother over her depression. My husband has been wonderful and said he would do anything to help me through this time. What a blessing to have a partner who's truly there for the good, the bad, and the ugly. So here I am at the beginning of my journey, and I'm so inspired by your story. You've added to my motivation to take those steps at self-care and improvement, and for that, I am beyond grateful.
Oh, that's nice.
How nice to have a supportive spouse for that journey, because not everybody can say that.
No, and you try it by yourself. It's 10 times harder, 100 times harder.
Well, I think
you got one more or no more?
No, that's the same one I just used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I think we're good.
Well, that's just a sample.
Yeah,
of the
just
types
a sample. He's got so many more.
There's hundreds we could talk about, but they're all pretty inspiring. Some of the stories were very sad, and some of the stories were asking for advice and things like that. I don't mind telling people like my story and what works for me. But again, I wish maybe in another life I'll be a professional counselor or something like that to help people like that. But I just think
it's not too late, babe. You can go back to school.
Maybe not. I really love helping people. If any of this helps, that
it obviously did. You're getting a lot of feedback that it has.
Hey, maybe it was worth it.
Taking the stigma out of getting help for depression, I think, is half the battle.
I'll tell you just real quick, a couple of quick stories about my family way back. I think I've told you about one of them. So my dad, he told me one time, he goes, on the Evans side of the family, there's mental illness. And I was like he was serious. And I'm like, really? And he said, yeah. He said, I used to have and I'm kind of laughing, and it's because it's my family, and I never met this man, but he said, I think it was my dad's uncle or a great uncle, like way back. He said, he would carry this jar around with him. Yeah. It was a clear jar and it had a top on it. And my dad said my uncle would come in with this jar and he would say that Hugh is in the jar. Hugh, H-U-G-H. And everybody just kind of understood that this uncle had a friend in the jar, and his name was Hugh. So that's a little strange, And then my dad also had another.
Whatever happened to Hugh?
I don't know.
We need to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah, we'll ask my dad about Hugh.
Yeah.
And then my dad had another uncle. He was a gunner on a B-17 in World War II over Germany. There was an airplane called a B-17. It had a gun on the bottom, and he was in this glass ball, like trying to shoot down Nazis, right? Well, they got shot down over Germany, and he was captured, and he had to go to a concentration camp. And I think he was okay before that, but he came out and he was not okay. So he actually got out and he came back to the United States. But my dad said that he had mental problems after that, So he told me that story as well. But he said, this kind of goes, and there's some of this in the family. So I thought that was interesting. But one story is kind of odd. The other story is very, very sad. And I know that happened to a lot of guys, they got captured, and then Lord knows what they saw and experienced there. But anyhow, let's get off of that. Let's get off of that. What else? There was something else we wanted to finish with.
You have the list. I was letting Alan steer the ship. Remember, I'm the submissive wife.
You are the submissive wife. You're doing so well on that too, babe.
Except when I fussed at you about your pregame.
Yeah, why would you fuss at me about my pregame?
Because I want you to blow your wad too early.
Whoa. We ought to do that on a podcast one time. Expressions that people say, and they're really, really lewd. But people say them all the time. Like in normal conversation, you could be sitting at brunch and someone would say.
I say things all the time. You're like, whoa. What did I say? I didn't say anything.
What did you just say?
Blow your wad?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. You're fine with that, I guess.
I guess I am. Did I say something bad?
Wow. Okay. No, if you're good, I'm good.
I don't know.
Why don't you explain what that means?
You just threw it all up and got rid of it all at once.
Yeah, you did. Got rid of it all at once.
Yeah, you don't want to blow it
early.
Oh,
no. You want to hold on to it.
I guess.
Keep it as long as you can.
I guess.
I don't know why I got the giggles now.
I don't either.
Sorry, man.
You're coming off your birthday high.
I'm coming off the birthday high, and I think I'm just tired.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
And I'm daffy. I'm very daffy right now.
We got a lot of fun things coming up. in the week ahead that Alan and I can't wait to share with you. We're getting ready to go to Chicago.
We are going to Chicago, aren't we?
Yes.
We're going Wednesday.
We're leaving Wednesday. We're very excited. It's a radio convention. It's called Morning Show Boot Camp. It's been around forever, for over 25 years, because I remember the first one I went to was when I started in the radio 25 years ago in Dallas, at least. I've been doing it longer than that. But a lot of people that I haven't seen in years are going to be there. And they've asked me to speak on a panel. I don't know what I'll have to say that'll offer any. Well, I've done this for 25 years. I might have something to say.
You'll have something.
I'm not going to pontificate, but if they ask me a question, I'll answer it, right? I don't have to do a speech. I'm just answering questions on a panel. And I hope.
What is pontificate?
Like get up there and just.
Oh, like
give a speech.
Like bloviate?
Yeah. I don't have to like wax philosophical. Is that another way of putting it? Anyway, so that's fun. And I'm also getting an award. It's so nice. I'm getting the Airblazer Award for women in radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm the 6th recipient. I have to look and see, but I think I'm the 6th person to get it.
So good.
And then next year I get to pick somebody to receive it. So I've got to start. And I'm going to put a lot of thought into it because I want to give it to a woman in radio who's, made a difference and made an impact. And I'd like to think that's why the person chose me.
Is it a national thing?
It's a national thing for people who are part of this radio. I mean, there's a lot of radio stations where they're not a part of like what's the word? It's not a sorority. I don't know the word I'm looking for. Not everybody's. It's not like 100% of all the radio stations voted on it.
Okay. Well, it's an award. Hey, you're picking up some hardware.
I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
You're picking up some hardware.
It's part of this community.
And we're going with Bossman George.
Bossman George, producer Robert.
Producer Robert, White Cheddar.
White Cheddar's going.
Robert is so funny. He cracks me up.
I know.
His sense of humor. I love his sense of humor.
Yeah, but you don't want to be on his bad side.
You really don't.
I've been on his. Robert.
He's so funny.
He could be madder at me sometimes than he is because I screw up sometimes. I probably screw up more than he even lets me realize. But I know when I've made him mad and I hate it. You don't like being on his bad side.
I think it's funny to me.
He blows up.
Yeah, it's funny to me because I don't work for him.
Yeah.
But then I see him get all spun up and pissed.
Oh, he gets so mad.
And it's kind of funny for me to see him do that.
And he just turns so red.
He turns beet red.
Yeah, he gets really mad.
Yeah, but he does the best George impersonation.
Yeah, we'll get a lot of that in Chicago. So we're looking forward to that. And real quick before we go, I was really excited that Figs is now one of our sponsors. I remember when I was in college, there was a certain group of the cool guys at college that always wore scrubs. Did you have anybody in college that did that?
Yeah.
The
yeah.
Cool
I remember
guys
that.
wore scrubs.
Sure.
And I thought they were the coolest things, but I didn't copy them because I didn't want them to think I was copying them, and I didn't want them to think that. But I just was always so jealous of them and their scrubs. Well, so I was excited when Figs came along. So I'm like, oh, I get to order some scrubs. So Figs has decided, they looked at people who are in these professions that, the medical professions, the doctors, the dentists, the people that are, saving lives, changing lives. The scrubs are so itchy and uncomfortable and not really cute. So the people behind Figs decided, why can't you look cute and sassy and wear comfortable scrubs while you're doing your job? And that's why they created this company called Figs. I ordered the Figs jogger pants. I got you some too.
I love them.
They are so cool.
They're cool looking, yeah.
I love joggers. It's one of my favorite things to wear. As soon as they came, I put them on my body. I wore them for 2 days before I washed them. Is that gross?
No,
I couldn't help it. I love them. I was breaking them in, but I love them. And Figs, every set. Now these are for people who actually work in the healthcare profession. But if you're like me and just like the way they look, you can order scrubs too and just wear them every day. But they're antimicrobial. Try saying that 5 times fast. So it protects you from germs and bacteria. They are ridiculously soft, moisture wicking, and they feature a 4-way stretch. They have all these different styles with tons of pockets, hidden pockets, just cool looking scrubs. And the good thing they do is every time you shop at Figs, they give scrubs to healthcare providers in need around the world through their Threads for Threads initiative. And they've given away hundreds of thousands of these sets in over 35 countries. We love our Figs, especially the joggers. So check those out.
So whether you are one of the most awesome humans that works in healthcare, or someone that wants to say thanks to these deserving folks, that would be more like us, I think. Figs is going to make that easy by providing you with 15% off your first purchase by using our code SANDWICH. So get ready to love your scrubs. Head to WearFigs, that's WearFigs.com, and enter our code SANDWICH at checkout.
Get you some scrubs
Love
that are
figs.
cool.
Can't wait till it gets a little cooler. I can wear my figs out instead of just around the house.
I love them. They come in cool colors too.
Yeah, they do.
Thanks for being a part of the podcast family, Figs.
I like black, though.
And Joybird and Everlane.
Yes.
Our sponsors for today. And for all of you that wrote letters to Alan expressing your love and appreciation, that was very, very sweet and thoughtful of you. And thank you for that, too.
It really was. It means a lot to me. A sandwich and some lovin', babe. This podcast, we have social media. Mm-hmm. We post a lot of cool things on social media that you can't get anywhere else. That's true. Yes, absolutely. And we don't just repost stuff on your social media or my social media. We got targeted, relevant content.
Yeah, we do, babe.
Yeah, we do. So find Sandwich and Some Lovin' on Instagram, at A Sandwich and Some Lovin' on Facebook. Also, Kelly, I think she tweets for us every once in a while. At Sandwich Lovin'.
I don't. Let's just stop the lie.
Wow.
Stop the lie.
Wow.
I dropped the ball on that.
Okay.
But I'm Kelly Raspberry everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter on occasion. I do live tweet. We're going to do Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah.
I might live tweet it. I don't know.
Guys, I try to get Kelly to do more social media. I've always said she should be doing it more. So I think she's getting better at it, but she is. She's always done a great job. I just think she could do more.
I just don't think about it.
I think your fans want more.
I know.
They want more.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No,
I'll try to do better.
No, it's nothing to be sorry about. I'm just saying I think your fans want more.
I'll try to do more.
And they can find that at Kelly Raspberry.
I'll try to do more.
And then they can find me at the Alonzo 1971.
You do enough for both of us.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you just take over my Instagram?
No, that wouldn't sound like you. It would sound like
true.
me.
That's true.
And then you don't want to sound like me.
No, I don't.
Because I'm lewd.
Apparently I am too, unbeknownst to me.
Well, no, you're not, because you don't know what shoot your wad means. All right, man. This was fun. I love you desperately.
I love you.
I love our listeners very desperately. But I'm sure we'll podcast again probably real soon.
Probably.
And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.
Bye. This battery's about to die. I don't know if you saw that.
Whoa. Okie dokie.
Okay.
Episode 161.
In the can. Ooh. Hey, since we are going to be traveling, for those of you who do join us for YouTube when we record, we had to pre-record Wednesday because we're going to be flying to Chicago. But the next podcast we drop on Thursday, you do not want to miss it because it's not a fun subject to talk about, but it's necessary.
Very serious lately around here.
Yeah. Child sex trafficking.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's serious. And we happen to live in United States. This is a huge problem here. And I think it's something that needs to be discussed. I met a lady who works for an organization that fights child sex trafficking. And they use like former Navy SEALs and former CIA people. And they work with police to bring down the top guy, because that's how you combat it. But yeah, apparently when I was talking to her, she said the number one prime target for sex traffickers are 12 to 14-year-old girls.
I believe that.
Our daughters are 12 and 14. So I was like, oh my gosh. And my daughter's been begging. She wants to go to the mall without me. And, you hear all these rumors of all the horrible things that can happen. And so anyway, we talked to a lady that works with the Deliver Fund, and that's going to be on this Thursday's podcast. But we did pre-record it because we're going to be traveling to Chicago. So there's that for you.
One of our live studio audience told us what balls to the wall, how that originated. And now that he mentions that, I've heard that.
Is it basketballs?
It's an aviation term. Like in old airplanes, they had the throttle had a big ball on the top of it. And then you've got the instruments. It's looks like a wall because it's flat. balls to the wall would mean like.
Oh, so it's not sexual.
No, the throttle is to the wall.
I assumed it was sexual.
It's like full throttle, basically.
Well, that's nice to know.
Yeah.
Things originated.
I just imagine a dude standing there holding his sack up against the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant.
Right.
Maybe we should instead of just discussing phrases that don't make sense, we should act them out.
Yeah.
You could act out balls to the wall.
I guess we could.
We have to think of some other ones that are interesting. All right, I gotta go. It's 9. I want to get to bed early because we've had a long weekend.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Yeah, it's been a long weekend. We're gonna upload this guy and probably go to bed. So thank you so much for checking us out. And we're not gonna see you for a while because we pre-recorded Wednesday. So we'll see you next Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday. Yeah. Okay. Have a good night. See you next week.